Good evening, everybody. Tonight I'm joined by Chris Hussey. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, thanks, Stu. You okay?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fantastic. Obviously, joining tonight because one of the great bit of news is that you'll be back at Stratford for your second season this coming year.
Yeah, Stu. I always knew I'd be here anyway. I signed a 2.5-year contract, so I'm all Stratford. I was never going anywhere, mate. Tied down, handcuffed, the lot.
well, that's brilliant. Anyway, look, you've definitely had a transition of a year this last year, haven't you? I mean, you've come from playing professional football with Walsall. You had played a few games for Walsall at the beginning of last season. You had that great big decision that it was time to hang them up professionally, and you've come over to Stratford, and wow, that must have been a big eye opener for you.
It was, Stu, in many ways. Just any footballer, I think, coming out of or any person in the walk of life doing the same thing for 17 years to then stop will struggle at some point, and it will be different because, you know, in football, right, for 17 years of going to work, having my breakfast cooked for me, told where I need to be, told what time I'm training, told what time I've got lunch, told what time I've got gym, take lunch home for dinner. So I've not had to do an awful lot for 17 years. And then now, you go from not getting that structure, and then now, I've never had a female boss to now, which she's wicked, by the way. So it's just so many different things that I've never had to work before, and now I work. Obviously, I've got a job at the PFA. And you know what, Stu, I can't ask for a better transition. And throughout my education, I've done modules on transition from sport and why people struggle, and I always wanted to leave football, Stuart, on my own terms, and was fortunate enough to leave it on my terms because the literature said if you leave it on your own terms, less likely problems are likely to occur later on down the line. And I'm at peace with it. You know, I chose to leave. It's been a great decision. It's been a great transition. And if you said to me, you play professional for 17 years and you play in every league outside the Premier League, and you'll get an unbelievable job at the end of it, Stu, I would have snapped your hand off from where I'm from. I would have snapped your hand off completely.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. Tell us a little bit what you do with the PFA.
So, Stu, obviously, PFA is a professional football association. I work in equality, so first and foremost, the Professional Football Association looks after professional players. If you're a scholar anywhere, if you've signed a scholar anywhere, so it's former and current members. So if you're a scholar and you're now in non-league, like Alex Worsley, we got at us, he's a member of the PFA. So it's for former members and obviously all current players from the Premier League down to League 2. And obviously former members, they could be anywhere, as long as you've been a professional at some point within your career. So what I do, Stu, I work in equality. So equality, there's obviously a protected characteristics. There's 9 of them, and I just sort of go into clubs. I've got an allocation of clubs from the Premier League to League 2, and I deliver equality workshops. So that entails the likes of identifying the protected characteristics, sanctions, language activity, which involves what you can and you can't say, reporting processes. So, Stuart, it's brilliant. I couldn't have asked for a better transition, as I say, and it's a fantastic organisation. As I've used them throughout my professional career, mate, you know, they've paid for my education up until, and even they're paying for my PhD now. So it's fantastic. Stuart, I'm not even just saying it and being biased because I work for them, but it's honestly, mate, it's brilliant. They're brilliant.
Fantastic, and obviously, I'm guessing you're in a bit of downtime now because players come to the end of their contracts, and in June time they have a bit of a few weeks off before pre-season starts, and
yeah.
This will be your first sort of like pre-season that you've not gone to a strict regime, but I believe you're actually helping Stratford with their off-season regime, trying to get players fit for the start of pre-season.
That's right, Stu. Yeah, obviously I've got a sports science degree. I know loads of sports scientists at some top clubs. And some in rugby. And you know what, Stu? I've carried on the same as what I was doing if I was a full-time footballer. I train 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I've sent the program across to the lads. So it's one that I used. One that I used during COVID. Obviously now you've got to adapt the program slightly because not everyone's got the gym membership. So you've got a member in COVID, no gyms were open, and at that time we still got given an off-season program. So the lads have no excuse. If it's good enough for me, it's good enough for them. You don't need a gym membership. All you need is to be able to run somewhere and do the exercise that I've given, and you can do them anywhere. So I have helped out. Lads got no excuse really, Stu.
Absolutely. So we'll be looking forward to pre-season, start early July, of course. Tell me about how you found playing for Stratford last year and the different sort of places you went to, surfaces you played on, compared with what you're used to.
Yeah, you know what, Stu? A game of football is a game of football. I remember a couple of years ago I played in. I forgot the name of the trophy, Stu. It was like it's not the Carabao Cup. It was like what's it called? Not the LDV Vans, but it wasn't a trophy.
The EFL trophy, maybe.
Yes, that was it, Stu. Playing the EFL trophy. All right, and this is how football works. Playing the EFL trophy, players turn their nose up at EFL, like games that are not of a big magnitude, if you like. Right? Stu, I've always seen it as a game of football. Right, you get paid to run around. Don't care if there's 10 people there, 20 people there, 30,000 people there, 60,000 people there, or a man and his dog. A game of football is a game of football, right? So I played this game, right, and I've always had that mentality. And I said it to you off air, Stu. Put the load in off it, but we'll always pay you back, right? So if you do consistently do the right things, it will pay you back. So I played in the game at Port Vale against Stockport. I was at Port Vale at the time. There's only about 2,500, 3,000 people there, right? And played in the game. Obviously, Port Vale used to get 7,000, 8,000, right? 2,500, 3,000, whatever it was there. So played in that game against Port Vale, scored, right? Did well. On the Thursday, now I'm transferring the shots. I've gone and signed them. So it just shows that you never know who's watching, right? The pitches ain't great. Whether there's 10 fans there, 20 fans there, a man and his dog, or a good game, it doesn't matter. You play a game of football, and I've always had that mentality with me, Stu. So, I've always been a firm believer in that, and I've always had that throughout my career. I never turn my nose up at games. All right, the pitches ain't great. You can moan about that. Footballers love excuses, Stu. I could have come to you at any point and go, do you know what, shit? I ain't playing in this. We've had a laugh about pitches, haven't we? But I can guarantee you not. I'd still run around, still tackle, still pass it, and still do things properly. Because a game of football is a game of football. I've never been one to turn my nose up at it. But, yeah, footballers love excuses, Stu. I could moan and say the pitches ain't great. I could moan and say, we've travelled 2.5 hours down there in the car. They're just excuses, Stu. Footballers love excuses. And I've never been one for them, Stu.
Absolutely. I think this year was the first year that you've actually played a competitive game on 3G.
Yeah, that was it, mate. And my first one was Nantwich Town. I'll never forget it. Never forget it, man. It was so surreal, We went out to look out at the pitch and there was kids playing on it. But that was the first time I've played on Astro. But yeah, all a learning experience, Stu. All a learning experience.
Absolutely. I mean, last year you put in 31 games.
Like 2 good ones.
Which ones were they then?
Exactly, mate. Two good minutes.
So, you've played a couple of positions last year. Well, 3 positions I think you played. I think you played on left wing. Did you not start at left wing at Colville?
Yeah, I started at left wing. Yeah.
Yeah, you played at left back, and then it got more solid then when you went into the centre half position with Macca, and it was a lot more natural for you then, wasn't it?
Yeah, obviously I was playing left. The last 3 years I played left of a 3, left of a back 3. But Stu, listen, I'll play anywhere, mate. I love football, man. It's been my life. I really enjoy it. It's like my release. But yeah, it's as you say, it's been great. settled into a nice little partnership with my old mate Macca, who's been brilliant, by the way. I think I was there for 3-4 months, and I used to show the back 5, back 6 like clips of what best practice is. And to be fair to Macca, you ask him about it, brilliant. Macca took it on like a water duck. Like, he's someone that's played at non-league most of his career, and you got someone like me coming in and saying, look, I think this will help. To be fair to him, he took it on board. He very rarely gets done in behind, and I'll let you ask him why. I'll let him give you the answers. But it's been great. Everyone's took on what I said, especially the back 6, and what I try and implement what I've learned, Stu, from the best defenders and the best managers I've played under, and try to just help people. So that's why, that's one of my main objectives, is to help as many people as I can.
Absolutely. I mean, we've already signed quite a few players from last season, so that must help going forward. But the end of the day, last year we missed out on playoffs by goal difference. Something's got to change, hasn't it, so that we get a better goal difference next season, so that we don't have the turmoils of it going to the last game worried about what other people do.
I agree, Stu, and I've said to you again off air, there's a saying that someone always said to me, footballers, nothing will always pay it back. And I think in life and in football, but I can repeat myself, in life and in football, you get what you deserve, right? So the harder you work, the more lucky you get. The more lucky you get, the more rewarded you're going to get. And obviously, we didn't deserve to get in the playoffs. Right? Football's about fine margins. You talk about fine margins. Goal difference is fine margins. Right? Very fine margins. And if you can, football always evens itself out, right? So if you work in credit, right, and you do the same things day in, day out, it will always pay you back. I'm a firm believer in that. And football is all about fine margins. Someone slips, someone scores. You hit the post, you don't get promoted. You hit the bar, you might get relegated. It's so fine margins. But I'm a firm believer you always work in credit. And football always pay you back. And I've had that throughout my career. So in a nutshell, we had a great season. The club's never done as many. I think we broke a couple of records last year. I think it was the most home wins or most consecutive wins we've won on a bounce. But we fell short, and we fell short for a reason. So we didn't deserve to get in the playoffs because we didn't. So next year, we build on what we did do well, and then we improve what we didn't do so well. And that's all about getting better and better and better and better, and doing things at the football club that other clubs at this level won't do. For example, I think we're getting some gym equipment. I wouldn't imagine, Stu, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if many clubs at this level will have some gym equipment. So you've always got to try and improve what you have. And I think that's what we're trying to do, improve on. Alright, we don't have the massive amount of finances as like full-time clubs, but you can always improve stuff, even if it's a little bit, you're improving that little percent. So a perfect analogy is like players. So if you was a player and you didn't improve your weaknesses, someone else out there is improving their weaknesses. They're going to go above the ladder. And that's always how I've worked, Stu. So if you improve what we have at the football club, you're going to go above other football clubs. So if you improve as a player, you're going to go above that player in the ladder. Do you know what I mean, Stu? Does that make sense?
Absolutely sense, Chris. Absolutely. I'm with you 100% there.
Yeah. And that's what I think, Stu. That's how I've always had them throughout my career. I always made sure I never left a stone unturned. If I left anything to chance, I'd go home and feel really guilty about it, and I'd get anxious and stuff like that. But I never left anything to chance. So it's easy just to go at the end of the session, I'm not going to do my 1v1. Easy to just walk in it. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yep.
But you're not doing your 1v1, someone else is going to do them. They're going to get above you. So I've always left nothing to chance, and I left no stone unturned.
Perfect. I mean, it can tell you're really looking forward to this coming season and taking Stratford to that next level.
Yes, John. Listen, I can't win a game of football on my own. I know at times it might look like it, right? But 10 of you need, 11 of you need to win a game of football. So I'm a cog in that wheel. So I'm hoping we keep some of the lads that we've got, which I'm aware that you said that we have, and hopefully, obviously, with some good additions that the club can make, that we can go that bit one further, from what we did last year.
Absolutely. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time, and all the very, very best for this season, and of course your job with the PFA.
Cheers, Stu.
Thank you, Chris.